Why is the baby out of his crib? Come on. Are we live? Well, that didn't start the countdown. So, Hey there. Yep, we are live. All
Hello,
right.
hello.
Yay. Sorry, I expected a countdown and somehow the countdown got erased. So, my fault. My bad. Yeah, in case anyone didn't
I
know,
don't know, you sound kind of funky on my end.
oh, yeah. Okay. Well, for
Yeah.
everyone watching
Do I
us,
sound okay?
yeah, you sound good. Yeah, you sound good. Looks like we got 9 people, 9 viewers so far. Thank you, everybody. Sorry we're a little late today, and things are a little bit off because, as some of you may know, Rebecca's Facebook page put her in Facebook jail. So,
Yep.
so she's not able to stream to the Liberty Ladies Unite page. We had to do this through my account today. But I think we got it all taken care of. Okay, we got the 2 Davids. Actually, David Russell. I think David Roybal might be. So we know 3 Davids. Wow. You know, when I was younger, I used to keep track of how many Davids I met and how many Christophers I met. I lost count at about over 250 Davids, I believe. Very popular name. Good name. But yeah, I used to get
Huh.
introduced to a new David. I'd be like, "Oh, hi, you're David number 232." I was a weird kid. They didn't
Yeah, we
know
got a
what
lot
to
of
do with.
Davids.
They didn't know what to do with that. They're like, "Oh, okay, I'm special." Oh, David, I see. Okay, so
David,
David,
David.
David Russell. We know David. There actually is a David Roybal on. It's a different account.
Right.
And then, hey, Becky. Ooh, San Antonio, Texas. Yay.
All
Sweet.
right.
So we're getting people in here on the chat. So, oh my gosh. Busy weekend. Busy
Busy,
weekend,
busy.
busy week. So much stuff going down. And I was talking to Rebecca earlier today, you know, what with Parler being almost completely deplatformed. Well, at this point, it is deplatformed. I decided today to try to get back on Gab. You know, Gab was around way before Parler was. They were kind of the conservative answer to Twitter, and Apple and Google pulled the same BS that they did recently with Parler, except they didn't go after Gab's servers. So they had tried to deplatform Gab, but it still stuck around. But as of today, they're having a really hard time. I haven't been able to get them on my phone. The app's not working. And I tried recently on my computer, and for a while, the main site came up. But every time I try to sign in, it keeps giving me an error message and saying that window or what page is not available. So they might have gone after Gab's servers as well. Sad to
Well,
say.
I think what we're seeing is a tiny, tiny taste of the sort of tyranny that we would see if Sleepy Joe was in the White House.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's going to get worse.
And it's scary.
Yeah. If Biden succeeds in stealing this election, we know it's going to get worse. So,
Yeah, we do.
well, we're still holding out hope.
So
Holding out hope for the president, but everybody prepare for the worst.
there's a lot of rumors out there, and all I can say is they're rumors. I can verify certain things that are strange that have happened over the past couple of days. Italy being almost completely darkened out, blackout. Italy, the entire
Yeah.
country.
So what
Um,
is going on with Italy? I've heard the rumors, but I've been chasing so many other rabbits I haven't gotten to look at the Italy one yet.
all I know that in fact did happen. Italy did, the entire country blacked out,
Okay.
and I haven't been able to confirm whether or not that included the Vatican, but that's what I'm hearing also. I'm also hearing the country of Pakistan got blacked out.
Oh, really?
A couple of other places. All of these places that we hear were involved in the whole vote fraud. So,
so what are the allegations?
Lots of rumors out there.
Yeah, because I heard one of the rumors that Italy might have been involved with interfering in our elections, and other countries might have as well. And where I heard that from was, I think it was an interview with Ann Vandersteel. Someone she interviewed that said that James Comey had sold Hammer and Scorecard to a number of other countries so that they would interfere in our elections. I mean, that's just an
I also
allegation at
heard,
this point.
right. So we got to investigate this stuff. And if you guys out there can help us with this, that would be awesome. I'm actually out of town right now. I got stuck out of town overnight because the job didn't go the way it was supposed to. But what was I saying? That's the thing about getting older. You have CRS. You know what that means, right?
I'm guessing that has something to do with your mental faculties or what?
Can't remember shit.
I like that. I like
The
that.
thought was there and it just left. It'll come back to me in a minute.
Yeah.
So we're hearing all kinds of rumors, and I'm saying they're rumors right now because they're rumors because I can't confirm them yet. Heard that laptops got taken from the Capitol the other day during that whole thing that happened there on the 6th.
Yeah. The laptops are definitely missing as to who took them.
So have we confirmed that they are missing?
Yeah, well, they are missing. A spokesperson for Nancy Pelosi came out and said that, oh, they're only used for slideshows. Okay. Well, first off, if there was, something really incredibly incriminating on there, they wouldn't come out and share that with mainstream media, obviously. But as far as
here's the thing that slipped my mind momentarily. Let me get it out before I forget it again. Apparently, there was a huge dump of information to WikiLeaks. So we might want to dig into that and see what we can see there.
Okay, so WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. Let's check WikiLeaks and see what got dumped today.
Okay, let's see here.
So we have laptops that in fact did disappear. We can't necessarily confirm the circumstances by which they disappeared. We have a number of theories. We have a theory that special forces mixed in with the Antifa and the Trump people that went into the Capitol, and they are in fact the ones that took the laptops. I also just found out when I was looking right before we went on that the president will be making a speech from Alamo, Texas tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Oh yeah, I heard he's going to be visiting the wall tomorrow. Supposedly.
Also, there's the rumor out there that the Insurrection Act was signed on the 9th. And we do have confirmation that there are a lot of troop movements in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, some friends of mine who are ex-military, ex-law enforcement have been saying, yeah, there's some weird deployments going on, some planes that have been moved around that normally aren't. As far as the insurrection thing, where did you hear that?
That is based on rumors that are flying all over the place. I even saw when I was on my way to the hotel, Roseanne Barr was on with Kirsten W., apparently a friend of hers. and
Okay.
they were talking about it also.
Hmm. Well, as far as the Insurrection Act already being signed, I mean, one of my sources, I asked them a while back, just Saturday, if there was a possibility that the Insurrection Act could be signed and just not publicized, like it could be going on as we speak. And they didn't seem to think it was likely, but they didn't rule out that it could happen. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Did you see the comment there from David? David?
Oh, about being a white op?
No, said here one of Trump's ladies told Roseanne Hunter Biden is already in jail.
Hunter Biden is already in jail? Hmm.
That's what David is saying.
That would be
Hey, Dave,
very interesting.
where did you hear that? Can we verify that, David?
Yeah. And then also, yeah, and then also, David, I did see the white op link that you send me via picture. Um and I believe, yeah, I took a look at that as well. That was interesting. I mean, so far, like Rebecca and I have been saying, a lot of rumors flying around. Some rumors are disturbing. Some rumors were like, oh gosh, I really hope this is true.
Oh,
But
I hope so too.
until we
It would
can
be
confirm anything, we don't want to acknowledge it as more than a rumor. I mean, we're at a
right.
point right now where, I haven't given up hope. Rebecca hasn't given up hope. I
Mm-mm.
haven't conceded anything. Trump is still our president, and it's a fact. He is still our president until, at least until January 20th. And Biden is still not our president. And I still don't think
And
he's our president elect.
as a um, person that strongly supports Trump, I will support any action he takes
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So
So
that's all I can say.
keep hope alive. Hope springs eternal. But definitely, we should prepare for the worst. We should prepare for the fact that, well, I mean, it's happening already. We are being persecuted. At least it started. Someone
We
on the
know
chat
for a fact
earlier,
that is happening.
yeah, someone on the chat earlier said that over 70,000 Twitter accounts have been canceled. Um, I believe it's more. I know Brandon Straka from the hashtag Walk Away movement, over, I think it was over 50,000 people who were associated with that. And I think they actually had over 500,000 associated that were affected. So the hashtag walk away movement was started by, this gay Democrat guy, and of course we don't really care that he's gay. The important thing is he's a Democrat that walked away from the movement. But the left
That's
hates
right.
a traitor. They hate a traitor. I mean, look at what happened with Milo Yiannopoulos back in 2016, and since then, they hate it when there's a traitor in their midst, and they hate it when someone has all these claims to victimhood culture and looks like they should be on their side. They should be on the Democrat side, hook, line, and sinker. But they're not. And they can't let it go. They can't let it go unpunished. And so now Brandon Straka and his walk away movement are their latest victims, or one of the latest victims. They've claimed so many victims this past half week that, good Lord, was it only a half week ago that, oh, the Stop the Steal rally occurred? Oh my gosh, it seems like it was longer. So much has happened. But yeah, the persecution has started, the Great Purge. Before Parler went down, I was hashtagging the Great Purge all up and down. It was awesome. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. We got a purge.
Hey,
And
Audrey, I see she joined us.
Andrelita.
So
Pero. I like that. What is this?
I know
Fifth?
she keeps
Is this
having
your
to come up
fifth?
with new names.
Yeah, this must be her fourth or fifth. Yeah, several people are just
I
like,
think
oh,
so.
this one got closed. I guess I'm starting another one. Yeah.
Well, you saw my new one, Becca Mary. That's
Yes.
my nickname and my middle name.
Yes.
Let's
Was
see.
that the
David
one?
sent us another message. He says he's getting email from all Trump's people: Linwood, Sydney, Rudy on Parler. They had us all signed up 34 hours before it was taken down. They knew ahead of time and wanted to make sure we are in the loop and have food ready for 12 days. I have a lot of info from the important people. Well, okay, I'm all set there. I actually went out yesterday and stocked up on a few cases of water because I didn't have enough of that. And I already have plenty of food, and I've got plenty of ammunition and plenty of guns. And I also picked up some propane bottles for my Coleman cooktop just in case.
Yeah, my parents are immigrants who came from, who used to be poor. So I grew up with at minimum 3 months worth of food on hand. So yeah, that's not an issue really for us. I'd have to go out and get milk every once in a while, although I haven't really had any issues shopping. So, I honestly, if something happens, I don't really think it's going to affect our day-to-day lives as much as people think it will, unless, of course,
Right.
the entire internet goes down. But knowing some people in computers and computer science like I do, I've asked them about it, and they say it's actually a lot harder than one would think to take down the entire internet because it is such a huge conglomerate of servers, and not all of the servers are in the United States. So,
Right. It's very decentralized.
yeah, and that's why the internet has lasted this long, and Democrat takeover of the internet hasn't been implemented. They've not that they haven't tried, both above board and below board. But it's almost impossible to co-opt the internet at this point because they don't have any monopolies on it, or at least they didn't until Amazon and Google. And while Google has sort of a de facto monopoly, they don't have enough of a monopoly over the servers and ISPs as they would like. So that's why they can't really take everything down. I mean, anyone who listened, did anyone listen to Eddie on the Rocket Talk today? He was talking about why it is that, his station is pretty darn secure. I mean, he saw this 9 years ago coming down the pipe, and he went ahead and got servers overseas. And then he has his own personal server, and he's got, David says, I got a big beer belly and a Tommy gun. All right. Good to know. Good to know. You
Well,
won't starve then.
now we can talk about what we're doing with rockettalk.chat, right?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
is
We
that a
definitely.
thing? Is that a thing now?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to do that.
So
Let me pull up here really quick. So earlier today, some of you may have seen I put out sort of a cryptic-ish message through Liberty Ladies Unite. It's time to say no to big tech censorship, root alphabet surveillance apps out of our lives. And it's true, those surveillance apps just they're collecting your data and farming it out, and that's how they make money. Also, to communicate without fear of being shut down, to connect and assemble peacefully without harassment, to chat anonymously if we choose. And then let us know if you want to connect via a network that's out of big alphabet text reach. And then I gave our Proton new, by the way, it's one of the things I did today, brand new Proton email address. And I'll put that down here in the chat for you all because our Gmail address is going to be going bye-bye very soon here.
yeah,
Um,
we
yeah,
are working on a purge.
yeah, we got a purge of our own going here, folks. If a lot of you know I like Dan Bongino, and he outlined things that we can do right now. Number one, don't ever Google again. Don't ever use Google search. Of course, I say that, and then my daughter was using Google search to shop for bathrobes today. I'm like, oh, well, okay, just that. But yeah, don't use their search engine. Try not to use their apps. Take all the apps off of your phones. They're insidious. They're of the devil. Yeah, I took the Facebook app off of my phone over a year ago because I was looking in, it was bogging down my phone, first off. And I'm like, why is there so much RAM being used? Why is so much stuff going on in the background? And so I really started to dig into it and see, okay, what are the permissions here? What stuff is it running behind the scenes? And I was just astounded um, by how many permissions you have to give the Facebook app. So I rooted that out a while back. So if anyone hasn't done it yet, you can actually look at your Facebook account through your web browser on your phone. I do it all the time. Granted, it's not as convenient or nice or handy dandy as an app. But if you've got Brave, app on your phone, which is a web browser that doesn't track you and blocks trackers from other sites. And it's so much quicker than other web browsers, too. It uses way less memory. If you've got Brave and you look at Facebook or Twitter from your Brave browser on your phone, then you're even more protected that way. It's really cool. Yeah, DuckDuckGo. I used
Yeah.
to like DuckDuckGo, Tina, but I really don't trust it anymore. I think it's been co-opted by Google, or they share some of the engines and search servers of Google. They just don't track your your searchables and the stuff that you search, or they don't save it. But I'm not too sure about DuckDuckGo. I tried out their web browsing app a few times for the phones, and yeah, not too good. Brave, honestly, it's free and it's the best one that we've found so far, and it really does take up a lot less space on your phone. And I've got it on my computer as well, my desktop, because it just makes things run so much smoother, and I can have multiple tabs open, and it tells me how many trackers it blocked for me, which is really nice. So yeah, what Rebecca's getting at here is through rockoftalk.chat. Some of you are familiar with that. We've been sending you all there to hear reruns. You can hear reruns of our Saturday show on the station in the Kiva, because we're live on Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m. on 1600 AM KIVA. And you can get our reruns on www.rockoftalk.chat. But that's not just a place to get reruns anymore. Eddie Aragon is working on turning that into like a social media / chat room. And so here's the deal. He's put it behind a paywall for several reasons, part of which is he owns some of the servers himself, so he does have to upkeep them. And the way that companies usually get away with making things free for everybody is by selling our information to advertisers. Well, Eddie
Right.
does
They're
want to
making
be,
one. They're making money one
yeah.
way or the other.
Eddie doesn't want anything online to be beholden to advertisers at all whatsoever. Plus, he also wants to make it inaccessible to people who say want to, yeah, kind of infiltrate, make us look bad, kind of spy on us, get to know what we're doing, and interfere. So he's trying to set up something that's secure where we can still communicate anonymously if we so wish. And that's one of his big things is he really believes in not just protecting free speech, but allowing people to speak anonymously. So he's working on that, and Rebecca and I are probably going to be having hand in that as well, possibly even moderating, the chat / social media forum. But we're trying to come up with a place where, people can talk, share their ideas, share their frustrations, just talk, but then also plan and plan to assemble or to meet up or protest, what have you. And it's sad that we kind of have to do this. Um, we can't do this in the public eye, can't do this in the public sphere. In some ways, it's going private, but that's what we have to do right now. And yeah, David here says that in the big tech hearing, the government proved that there is AI and that it is a big threat. They all use it together as a group. Uh, so anyone who listens to Scott Adams he's a big proponent of the idea of the simulation. He's a simulation theory kind of guy, which is sort of like a tech pseudo religious theory, except they don't think it's a religion. I do. But he's of the way he puts it is that there are so many algorithms that run so many parts of our lives, so many parts of business. Stock markets, a lot of things are run on algorithms. Of course, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc. They're all run on algorithms. So all of those algorithms taken in together can be seen as a type of AI, a type of artificial intelligence. And yeah, from that standpoint that the artificial intelligence has been programmed a certain way to want certain things or to look out for certain undesirable words or actions, or the list is almost endless. There's sort of a type of artificial intelligence out there. It's not exactly as intelligent necessarily as the human mind, but in some ways it can be worse because it's not necessarily as creative. It doesn't recognize right from wrong. In other words, here's a good example. So a stock market algorithm, let's say if you have a lot of money in the stock market, you're capable of setting certain things so that if a stock starts to plateau and it hasn't grown for so many days, as soon as it dips, you can have an algorithm set to go ahead and sell those shares immediately. I mean, that is a very, very
Right. And
but it shows that
there was
there are
actually an interesting
algorithms.
there
There
was a sci-fi movie I watched it several years ago that predicted that kind of thing based on supercomputers,
Yeah,
where they can look at so much data that they can predict what's going to happen next based
yeah.
on all the current and past data. And it's a real thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of based on like desirable, non-desirable outcome observation of computers and systems, and then complex calculations as to what it would take to get to a desirable outcome. So the scary thing about it is that when you have the people in tech who are in the driver's seat, well, not so much software engineers, but the coders. People have coded and programmed these algorithms that say they want a desirable outcome. Like, for example, maybe a certain someone winning an election. And so the algorithm takes a look at, okay, so if this is a desirable outcome, certain someone winning an election, then information about that someone, we'll call them person B, uh, that is harmful or derogatory of that personality would not be desirable to be trending right about now. And so maybe any information about the opponent, we'll call him person T, uh, anything that's undesirable about them, whether it's true or not, that would be advantageous to have trending and to bump up so that more people see it, because this is all driven towards what do we want to occur here. So if that's the case and that's really how it works, then the danger is whoever's in the driver's seat and whoever's programming essentially the AI can determine what the outcome is. And they don't even have to, humans themselves don't necessarily even have to have a hand in a whole lot of it, so much as just kind of set the ball in motion, tell the program what it wants, and then the program kind of figures out as it goes along. And yeah, that's the really scary part here. Now, as far as Apple though, and Google taking Parler off their stores, and then Amazon yanking its servers, yeah, that was definitely to a large extent, human intervention. They made those calls, they made those decisions, and I believe they really overplayed their hands. Oh, we might have lost Rebecca. She'll jump back on if she has the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah, she's in a hotel on a job right now. So some of you all were kind of worried about us. We're good. We're fine. It's just that Rebecca was out of town on a job, and so she had to make it to a hotel first before she could jump on. Yeah. So, keep in mind that if anyone has any questions, they can go ahead and put it down there in the chat. We'll definitely take a look at that for you. Maybe even share your questions or comments also. And also, if you all have um, any rumors that we've kind of been talking about or hearing at large that you have confirmation on, if you could also post that in the links or email it to me at libertyladiesunite@protonmail.com, that would be great. Because, in fact, actually, let me go ahead and stick that up on the banner here because I know, let's see here. Oh, that's the ticker. Hang on. I'm going to go ahead and put our, let's see, Proton Mail in the ticker here. That way everybody can see it and you can email us whenever you need to during the show. There we go. Liberty Ladies Unite at protonmail.com. There we go. Okay. Awesome. There we go. So scrolling across the screen there, you should see our email address. You all can reach us there. David says, the systems they are using track each one of us across all platforms and communications in real time to all platforms of our actions. Yep, that's the scary thing about those algorithms. All right, looks like we got Rebecca back. Yay!
And I got a considerably better connection now too because I signed into the hotel's Wi-Fi.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So because you sounded like a Cylon or something before, it's like it's like, and so
Yeah.
so now it's like way better.
And you were kind of freezing there too. If you didn't notice, while you were gone, I added our new email to the ticker down below, so everyone can see that and email us stuff if they need to. And I've got the inbox open here, so I'll keep an eye on that as well. Yes.
Okay, good. So so we talked about all the rumors of things going on. Do we want to mention the thing that happened at church yesterday by any chance?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. It's local. It's definitely pertinent. And also, we might have someone from Legacy watching us. And if you all know what happened and can add anything to it, we'd appreciate it.
So I was watching the first morning service yesterday from the Central Campus, and Pastor Smotherman was up doing his invitation at the end of the message, and somebody, all you see is him, but he's you can tell somebody's walking up to like the stage there where he's at, and he kind of leaned down. He says, how can I help you, young lady? And so it was the woman. And then whatever she said to him, he responded back and said, yeah, that's not going to happen. And then after he said that, he went on with what he was doing. But then she started screaming and yelling and making a scene. And apparently he asked to have the police please come and remove her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he made the comment. He said, I just knew this sort of thing was going to start happening at some point in time.
Wow.
So now we're having troublemakers coming into church. It's pretty sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not sure for sure what it was about, but it's not inconceivable that the one church in Albuquerque that's really been pushing back against our governor and state this whole time is going to start getting pushback as well. So, yeah.
So I was making it. I had an interesting thought. I was thinking about everything that's been going on over the past year with the sort of way that they've been trying to isolate us. They came out with the ridiculous mask mandates. They're telling you they want you to stay at home. They're shutting down businesses. They're shutting down bars. Okay, which bars are historically a place where people gather and hang out and get to know and and talk.
Yeah.
Um, Restaurants. They don't want you to go to church. And now the icing on the cake is isolating us all from social media.
Yeah.
So the whole divide and conquer thing is like in full force now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some people have become, we've become as a society increasingly more dependent on social media. It used to be people would call each other. Email was kind of the newest thing, and we're probably going to end up having to go back to that in a big way. Chat rooms. I mean, I don't know if anyone remembers chat rooms when they first came on the scene. It's like, oh wow, it's like email but quicker. It's instantaneous.
Oh, hey, Natalie, you're too young to remember the first chat rooms, okay?
Really?
But oh yeah, on my first computer I had, which you've probably never even seen one, it was called an IBM AT, and it was one of the first computers, first what they called a PC. Okay.
My dad
Um,
might have one. Keep in
yeah.
mind, I learned to type on a Commodore 64.
Well, that was out about the same time.
Yeah.
So that we're talking about an IBM AT has a big metal box, and it had like a 20 megabyte hard drive and 512 Ks of RAM, and it had DOS on it.
Of
Okay.
course.
So everything was DOS. Okay, so there were really some great little DOS programs that came out, and there was a terminal program that I would use, and of course I had I think a 12K baud modem or something on it that dialed out, um, and I joined one of the first what's called a bulletin board, and
Ah,
so bulletin boards were like the first kind of social media kind of thing that came out. And
yeah.
the number of concurrent users that could be on the bulletin board was determined by whoever the operator of the bulletin board was, how many modems they had hooked up to their computer.
Oh,
So
wow.
so if they had 12 modems hooked up to their computer, you could have 12 simultaneous users.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Wow.
a lot of time what you do if you wanted to get into the chat room, which was basically text based, and it was, it just be streams of comments, and you had to, if it was filled up and there were 12 people on there, you couldn't get in. So you'd have to wait till somebody dropped off, and then when somebody
I,
dropped off, you could dial in.
I do remember some of the earlier chat rooms had limits like 20 or 30 people at a time, and you sometimes had to wait to get into the chat room on your of your choice, and you're on like this little waiting list.
That's why.
Wow, that's yeah. That's
But you know what? It was a lot of fun. We had a blast on it, and we had
yeah.
little like text-based games that we'd play on there and everything.
Mhm.
And
Well, David
it
Russell has a working Commodore 64. Woo!
wow,
And he remembers the AOL chat rooms from the mid and late 90s. Yes, that's when I
yeah.
started chatting in the 90s. Thanks for making me feel old. Hey,
AOL had
we're kind of there with
AOL
you.
was the first like kind of network kind of thing that came out
Yeah. Yeah, it was like the
before the
newest
internet.
thing.
So AOL was more of an intranet. So they
Yes.
had their own
Yeah,
AOL network.
you had to install their software so that you could talk to other AOL email addresses and send emails, etc. Yeah,
Right.
and of course now that, no one really ever does that anymore. I still have the same AOL email address that I first got when I was 12, I think. And
Wow. And that
it's
still
mostly
works?
for yeah, it's mostly for junk mail. Those
Yeah.
things never really go away. But I keep everything just because, hey, if I ever need to look something up from a specific year, I can always search it. That's one thing that Eddie Aragon was actually talking about today is do not cancel your accounts. Don't cancel your social media accounts. until after, if you really want to, you have downloaded your history, which is a great point. Um,
Okay. You
now,
can do that on Twitter?
yeah, you should be able to. It gave me the option to. The only reason that I didn't is I never posted anything on Twitter. I literally only had a Twitter account to follow the president. I never posted anything. I was just one of those dead accounts that just kept an eye on the president and everything that he said. So I just deleted mine because I had nothing to download. But as far as like Facebook, yeah, I'd probably have a lot. But the reason that you want to download all of your internet activity on social media as much as possible is because it's a record of who you are, and that can be used in a court of law. And you don't want to just leave Facebook or Twitter or whoever in charge of all of that data. In fact, some of the people who are jumping off of these platforms, they're not just jumping off, they're downloading all of their information, backing it up, saving it, and then they're going through and deleting everything that they don't want to be left out there. And from years and years of information, I mean, that can be pretty darn tedious, but if you want to, you can do it that way, or you can just stop posting for a while if you want. David Russell says in just a few days it'll be 30 years since the start of Desert Storm. Wow, Operation Desert Storm was 30 years ago. I
Hmm.
remember when that started.
Right.
Of course, my dad kind of kept us up to date even as kids with things that were going on in the world. if we
Well,
if we asked a question, he would answer us, and we didn't always appreciate the lengthy answers, but if we wanted to be kept up to date of what was going on and we were curious, he would let us know.
well,
So
Mark was actually
I
in that
know,
war.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Now I know a lot of people say they try to shelter their kids from like what's going on, and from they don't want them to worry about things. And I think we need to strike a balance with our children. Granted, we don't need to worry them to the point where they're having, anxiety and feeling sick and like, "Oh my god, the world's going to be over by the time I'm an adult." Yeah, they don't need that. But I think keeping them apprised of, to a loose extent what's going on is good. I mean, the thing is with this whole Wuhan virus, you can't help it. Everyone's going around in masks, and my kids are like, "Mommy, why is everyone hiding their face?" Yeah, I can't hide that from them. So I when they're like, "Yeah, why is everyone hiding their face?" I kind of have to explain, well, so World Health Organization lied, and Wuhan virus came from China, and CDC's following the lead of the World Health Organization, and the country's having used politically. So yeah, keeping my kids up to date on stuff it's a
Well,
mind bender for me to explain things in a simple manner.
on that subject with the mask, okay, I just got done doing a job in Carlsbad
Ah,
at
yes.
a Lowe's store, and I can tell you that people down here in this part of the state are not acting all nutty like they are in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Probably about half the people that were in Lowe's were not wearing a mask, and to a certain extent, it looked like they were pretty much just ignoring the governor's mandates.
Wow,
Now,
that's awesome.
Lowe's Corporation, they're making their employees wear a mask,
Mm,
but they're not hassling you about wearing one.
good, good.
And then tomorrow, I'm going to be working at a store in Hobbs, which I figure probably it's pretty much about the same here too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. So no one's been hassling you to put on a mask while you're
No,
working?
no,
Awesome.
no
Mm.
self-appointed mask uh, enforcement officers. That's what I'm going to call them.
Well, speaking of which, There's a video I want to share with you all. It's from the healthy Peggy Hall with the Healthy
Yes, I want to see
American.
that one.
Yes, and I'm gonna see Hobbs. And David says Hobbs is Texas anyway. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm gonna see. Hopefully, you all can hear it. Let me know if you can't hear it. Let's see here. So just to preface this, this is a video of Peggy going into a store, going into a Sprouts, which she likes to call Snakes, and
Snakes.
yeah, she calls it Snakes. She's like, yeah, they're they're not patriotic by any means.
No, no,
They're
they're the
they're just
worst.
they're evil, and she says she doesn't like the way that their stores smell and what have you. But anyway, she walked in not to buy anything. She said, I didn't need to buy anything. I just thought, you know what? I need to just walk in without a mask and just be present and just be there and see how long it takes him to kick me out. So it's only a 4-minute video, and I don't think anyone bothered her until a minute and a half or more in. So that's where we'll pick it up here. But I wanted you all to see how she handled the opposition, because Peggy Hall must be one of the most gracious and positive and upbeat ladies that I know of, and how she handles all the mask negativity and Nazism is it's just priceless. So
It
let's
is.
can you hear it?
Nope.
Darn it. Darn it. So people are telling her you need a mask. She's like, "Oh, I'm okay." "Oh no, you need to wear it." "Oh, don't worry, I'm not buying anything." "But you still need to wear it." "Yeah, I gotcha." "Well, then you need to leave." "Yeah, I'm on my way out." "Oh, no, I'm totally good. Not here to buy anything." And they're telling her, "Well, if you're in the store anyway, then you still need to wear a mask." And she's like, "Oh, well, I don't have an illness. I'm 6 feet apart. I'm good." Yeah. And then someone asked her, do we need to get a manager?" She's like, "No, I'm good." And
I'm
then
gonna
about
watch it on
here,
my phone.
yeah. And then about here, she's telling the cashier lady, "Yeah, I heard about that mask thing. I wasn't sure about if it was a rumor or not, so I just thought I'd kind of check it out for myself. Yeah, I never shop here anyway. I think it smells bad, but yeah, I just thought I would kind of check it out because I thought it was a really weird rumor." So, so yeah, I
I'm
posted the link down there so you all can go to it, and hopefully, take a look at that. That's disappointing. My audio doesn't come across. Oh
well, it
well.
worked on my computer the other day.
Yeah, it works on your
Did
computer, but this is the
did you
second
check
time.
did you check the box? There's a little box you can check for
Hmm.
it says something to do about audio. When you open when you share the screen, there's a little
Yeah.
box there you can check. I checked that box when I did it.
Oh, I see it now. Duh.
That's
Share
probably it.
audio.
Yes,
Gah.
share audio.
Really?
Yeah. Why don't you try it again?
Okay, okay. Here, let me oh wait, hang on. Let me pull this up again. Let's see. Oh, I know what I'll do. Let's see, David. Oh, do you want to read can you see David's latest thing in the chat?
Let me take a look. Linwood, Trump's team have said in the past 6 days that in a total of 14 days, a lot of people are going to be arrested in their involvement of Pizzagate. Well, that'd be nice. They have seen the evidence and are discussed. You know, Mike Lindell did a video the other day and said the same thing. He said he had seen the evidence and this was going to be going down.
I
So
heard
I don't
about
know.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that one. Oh man,
It'd be
I'm
great to see
really
these deep
hoping.
state criminals go down.
Yes, yes. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. Now that Rebecca pointed out the audio box to me. Oh, but yeah, it's priceless, and I laughed so hard. And she calls her video not shopping at Sprouts. Oh, wait, hang on. I forgot to click on that box again. Okay, so I have to actually click on the audio button. Learn something new every single day. Yes, there we go. Share audio. Find the tab. There we go. Yay! And now let me find my spot in here. Okay. Can you hear it? Yeah, at first no one's bothering her.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's store policy to be wearing a mask.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah. I'm not buying anything, so.
You still can't be in here.
Okay. I gotcha.
All right.
I had heard some things. I just want to check for myself. I'm good. I'm totally good. Not here to cause any problem.
Well, being in the store without a mask is causing a problem.
Sorry about that. I don't have any illness, so.
Should I get a manager?
Oh, no. I'm good. I don't need a manager.
Wear a mask in the store.
I know. Yeah, I've heard about that. I just wanted to. I wasn't sure whether it was a rumor or not, so I just wanted to check out for myself. So. Okay. Yeah, I'm 6 feet apart.
She stays so calm.
Okay, I will. I never shopped here anyway. It smells bad to me in here. I don't think the food's very fresh.
I love it. I love it.
Well, friends, that was my foray.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, it smells kind of bad in here anyway.
Fresh. Yeah. You know, she is just the most positive, upbeat person. And it's really interesting because she's a huge advocate of pushing back. And in one of her videos too, where she went into Walmart, she goes on a little tirade in her car about how are people being so stupid, which for her is like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so positive when she pushes back, and she's smiling, and she's just like, nope, I'm good. Nope,
I'm good.
I'm not.
Well, do you want me to get a manager? Oh no, you don't need to do that.
And it's like, no, I'm good. Oh yeah, well yeah, I'm not. I don't have any illness. That's 6 feet apart. Yeah, I'm not here to cause problems. Yeah, I'm going anyway. I'm not here to buy anything. I just want to check out the rumors. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it got me to thinking. I'm like, we all should do that. Just when you go into a store and you want to buy something, you have something to lose. The chance to buy whatever it is that you needed or wanted to get. But if you go into a store and you're not there to buy anything, you're just there to see how long it's going to take for someone to start problems with you. Then
it's like, no, I would never want to buy anything here anyway.
Yeah, then it's kind of fun. It's like, no, I know. Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm leaving. As I meander around the store, etc. It's like, no, I'm good. Not sick. Not ill.
I was just getting in my daily walk, and rather than go to the mall, I thought I'd go to Sprouts today.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that you guys were violating people's civil rights and segregating between the healthy and the sick. And yeah, I just wanted to see if it was true because I didn't believe it. So got it checked out now. I'm good. Yeah, totally, totally. It's like, yeah, no worries. Now I know what to put in my DOJ report for violation of ADA.
Hey, that I had a thought the last time I went to Walmart. Remember how when you used to always go to Walmart and there'd always be like a handicapped person greeter? They would give these people a job doing that. Have you noticed you don't see those people anymore?
Yes. I'm
thinking these people can't wear a mask, so therefore they get discriminated against and they no longer have a job. What do you?
Well,
I don't know if that's true or not, but.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that from when I've gone in. I'm glad to see that they're not sitting at the door for a 4-hour, 8 to 8 hour shift, wearing a mask on their face and ruining their health even further. that would be really worrisome.
Mhm.
And yeah, for anyone who's like, oh no, mask depleting your oxygen, that's not a thing. But you go, oh really now? So why then is it that the oxygen in surgery rooms is boosted as well as the air pressure on purpose? Not for the patient who's not breathing the air from the room. They're on separate oxygen, actually. They're on essentially life support when you're having surgery, but that they're boosting the oxygen in the room for the medical staff who are all wearing masks. Yeah. And some of them still get headaches. It's like, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, and this is stuff that I've been saying since April, and people get all mad at me and like, you're using facts to harm people. I'm like, if you seriously think that a piece of fabric over your face is protecting you, and it's like, okay, the fabric over your face is good for some things because everyone likes to bring up the whole desert storm and guys wear, you know, those scarves over their face. Cool, we've got some of those. In fact, I know how to tie them now. Yeah, they are great for keeping dust out of your face. If it's super cold, for keeping the air in front of your face a little bit warmer, so it's easier to breathe it in. But I don't remember them ever saying that they wore them to protect themselves from biohazardous material. Yeah,
No, doesn't happen.
never heard of that. Never heard one of them claim that, well, yeah, we wear these to protect ourselves from viruses from the populace. Yeah. No. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mark, never had that reason for wearing his either. So
No, I don't think so.
it's called particulate science, people, and it's very important, especially for people who work with asbestos or silica, or well, even sawdust. And and what's funny is people who wear masks on a regular basis, like you've even said this, Rebecca. You have some masks that you've used for some of the type of work that you do, fixing up your houses, and they're for very specific things and they work in specific cases, but viruses aren't one of them. and e-
No,
and even the N9.
they do a great job of keeping sawdust out of your nose, and especially when you're sanding drywall, that's the worst.
Yeah.
And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
drywall.
ugh, yeah,
Ooh, the is that the like the gypsum stuff?
yeah,
It's-
yeah. That's
yeah.
like sanding that stuff.
Oh,
It's like chewing on chalk when it gets in your mouth.
well, isn't gypsum essentially where silica comes from, or am I
I
getting that
think
mixed up?
no, I think you might be right there.
Because gypsum and silica both, I know, can tear up your lungs. So yeah. David says in Santa Fe, the greeters, I'm guessing the Walmart greeters, have been fired years ago. The only things at the door are the security check at the exit. Yeah. Well, and now the security mask check at the entrance, I'm sure. Ugh.
Right.
We had some friends who lived up around the Santa Fe area that recently moved to Texas. They called it their great escape, their evac to Texas. I'm like, well, y'all are in a better place now. We might come visit out of desperation one of these days. We'll see. And yes,
I had I had something interesting pop up on my phone just a minute ago.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is. Trump declares state of emergency in D.C. ahead of inauguration.
What? Yes. Oh, can you post that link in the chat perchance? Or a link to
Um,
it if you
yeah, I
follow
can.
it?
Yeah, I can do that. Let's see. And I'm seeing that pop up on Politico. I'm seeing it pop up on Al Jazeera.
So he declared state of emergency.
Emergency declaration ahead of Biden inauguration.
Interesting. Now, a state of emergency is, well, how do I put it? We're still technically in the state of emergency that George Bush declared in order to start, what was it? Was it Desert Storm or Desert Shield? I forget which one. Um, But yeah, there were also we were already in a national emergency from 2018 under Trump anyway. The thing about declarations for states of emergency and national emergency is that they have to be, I don't think the word is rescinded, but like they have to be closed out. And if a sitting president declares a state of emergency and never closes it out, it's up to this next president to close it out. And what's ended up happening since Bush is that we kind of have this rolling state of emergency ball that we just keep collecting more and more states of emergencies, and we never declare them over.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see what he put under this one.
Yeah.
Because let's see here, past 24 hours. Let me see if I can look that up. There, here we go. Politico, Yahoo News. Oh, we'll give it to Daily Caller. We'll give Daily Caller the click.
Okay.
Yeah, President Donald Trump declares state of emergency for Washington, D.C. And actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and share this. That way everyone can kind of see it as we are seeing it. Let's see here. I'll throw that up on the screen for you all. Here we go. So yeah, President Trump declares state of emergency for Washington, D.C. Counter Trump's coup. You idiot. There's been a
Hmm.
coup against this president the entire freaking time.
Yeah.
So he declared it Monday today. He said, okay, so he was specific. He declared that an emergency exists in the District of Columbia, so it's for DC, and ordered federal assistance to supplement the district's response efforts due to emergency conditions resulting from the 59th presidential inauguration from, okay, so this is cool, from January 11th to January 24th. So he was smart. He went ahead and declared this state of emergency for a specific place, DC, and for a specific time, meaning it has an end. So from the 11th through January 24th. So let's see, what does he make it do? So the action authorizes Department of Homeland Security and FEMA to coordinate all disaster relief efforts to help local authorities. Cool. And then FBI's received reports. Oh, of course. Armed protests are being planned across the nation at each capital and the U.S. Capitol in D.C. in the days leading up to Biden's inauguration, according to CNN. Okay, so that right there is stuck in there. That's something according to CNN. That's not any reasoning on the president's part. And sometimes you got to be careful when you're reading. Journalists will do this. They'll state something that the president or someone who's the subject of the article says, and then they'll have another statement after that that doesn't necessarily come from them. And then they'll put at the end of that statement, like here, according to CNN. So whether that had anything to do, the reports of armed protests being planned across capitals across the nation, whether that had anything to do with the president declaring this emergency, who knows? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't.
Yeah, we don't know. It's something that just popped up, and it's like, oh, I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, even this next one, I'm going to highlight here where it comes from. The FBI bulletin said, according to CNN, armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals from January 16th through at least the 20th, and at the U.S. Capitol from the 17th through the 20th. And again, the FBI bulletin said, according to CNN. So again, this may not be the president's reasoning at all, or it might be a part of it, but we don't know. This is
We
just
don't know.
according to Communist News Network.
Right.
Yeah, so there are also threats of an uprising. Ooh, uprising. Should Trump be removed from office through the 25th Amendment? And if you all hadn't heard, the 25th Amendment thingy got blocked in, I think it was the House. Or at least the first phase of considering it got blocked because they needed, kitty, 100% for some reason, oh, it was to call everyone back into session early, because in order to vote on this 25th Amendment, to invoke it, they have to have everyone called back in, essentially like extending or starting the session early, because I don't think they're supposed to go back until the 19th. Yeah. But several at least one Republican objected. He's like, no, I'm not voting for that. This is stupid. If Biden's getting into office, I mean, this president's only president for 9 more days. What are you all afraid of? What was on the laptop, Nancy? Oh, and then of course they have to do this whole thing following the Capitol riots that left 5 dead. Oh, okay. I hate deceptive writing. I really hate deceptive writing. Um, the riots left 5 dead. 4 of those deaths were not due to, quote, rioting. And there wasn't rioting. There was peaceful protesting, and then the police opened the doors and invited people into the Capitol, and Antifa went ahead and piggybacked along with them. That was
Yes, and
not a
there is
riot.
in fact video evidence to show that of the police waving the people in.
Yes.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
waving them in very
Walking them in.
enthusiastically.
Oh yeah, walking them in. Y'all
Yeah.
the people who were there were quite confused, and there's many eyewitness accounts now that are saying, oh yeah, by the time we got there, people were pouring in. The police were just kind of standing there waving people in, and we thought, oh, we're supposed to go in. We may get to see the proceedings.
Right. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I would
and
think,
then
right?
Antifa joined in the flow, and they're the ones who started, shite, and started to, overturn things, and even people outside trying to break windows. And some Trump supporters were like, "Why are you all trying to break windows? The cops have the door open right there." What?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I saw them doing that as they were walking through the open door. They were punching the window.
Yes. What?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Yeah, no, there were troublemakers there. There were no riots.
Yeah.
So following the Capitol peaceful protests, at which, yes, there were troublemakers, and one woman who unfortunately got caught up in the troublemaking was shot by a Capitol security guard, we think, maybe, and 4 people who happened to have medical episodes and couldn't get help on time left 5 dead. That's what that should read. Not the riots left 5 dead. No, no, you lying idiots. No, they're not idiots. It's worse than that. They're misrepresenting. If it was just, misfeasance, meaning they overlooked someone, they didn't do their due diligence, that's one thing. But malfeasance, I mean, on purpose, misrepresenting. Yeah, no, the Capitol, there was no riot at the Capitol. And of the 5 people who died, one of which was shot by Capitol Police, and the 4 of which died because, 2 of them had heart attacks. Well, anyway, okay, I'm off that soapbox for now. The mayor of DC has a citywide public emergency for 15 days. First Amendment's turned violent, more trash, more trash. She blames Trump, big whoop. There'll be 10,000 troops deployed to the Capitol by Saturday to prepare for the inauguration, according to the Associated Press. Well, that's interesting because last I heard, Nancy Pelosi had tried to lean on some generals. I don't know if you read this. She tried to lean on some generals to say, oh, well, you need to basically take the football and the nuclear codes away from the president because it's too dangerous to leave those in his incapable and unbalanced hands. And the
Well,
generals
you know
were like,
what? That sounds an awful lot like treason to me. You
yeah.
don't plot against the commander in chief and current president of the United States. That sounds an awful lot like treason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was funny is the general's reaction were, president's still the president. He is still the commander in chief until he's not.
Yeah.
And that was it. They're like, nope, don't involve us in this coup. He's still our commander-in-chief. So yeah, if the National Guard is there, and technically each National Guard answers to their state first and foremost, their ultimate commander-in-chief is still the president. So
Yeah.
we shall see. Yeah. Yeah, David says, yeah, hate that Dems love doing that. Tell him don't put words into my mouth. Oh yeah, send the link to your messenger. Sure, David, I'll go ahead and get that link to you as well. And yeah, I did see that picture from, let's see here. He says, I showed you a picture from Linwood and Sydney of an email from Nancy about the riots in August. Shared it on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook is threatening to kick people off. I'll see if I can find that and share that with everybody as well. That was really interesting. So, and yeah, one of the cops killed himself Saturday, and I'd say some people rather kill themselves than go to jail. Yeah, that suicide was very interesting. I'm like, huh.
That's something we need to look into. That might be something that we might be talking about on Saturday.
Yeah, well, so far there's not a whole lot of information about it. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, he killed himself. Department hasn't commented on why yet. Like, oh really now? Yeah, I tend to not believe too much in coincidence, but you know, if someone kills themselves shortly after this big thing and we are pretty darn sure that it was a setup, I'm not saying.
I'm just saying that when people kill themselves, it's because they're under some serious, they're thinking that they're really in some big trouble. Sometimes that's a reason. And so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who the heck knows? I don't know for sure at this point, but it seems awfully fishy. The coincidence keep piling, or coinky dinks, as someone likes to say,
Winky dinks.
piling up.
They do. They keep piling up.
And you know, when those coinkydinks happen to be dead bodies, yeah, things get really suspicious, really shady, really quick. So, you know, just keep an eye out. You know, maybe some other dead bodies will start falling and people will tell us, "Oh, don't worry about that." Oh, speaking of dead bodies, did you hear about a doctor who received his coronavirus shots 2 weeks ago, I believe it was? He's dead.
I saw that news flash pop across my phone as I was driving here this evening. I didn't get a chance to take a good look at it. Maybe you can forward that to our email and I can look at it later.
Yeah, I'll do that. I think it's on my phone right now. But yeah, I found that really interesting, and of course, you know, mainstream media is keeping a lid on that one because oh no, nothing to see here, folks. Oh no, he didn't die from the vaccine. It was something else. But the vaccine had absolutely nothing to do with it, regardless of the fact that the guy started getting spots on his body, his extremities, shortly after taking the vaccine. And then he had further complications, and then further complications, and was hospitalized, and finally had a heart attack or stroke. I think it was a heart attack. But yeah, no, nothing to do. Nothing to do. Oh, yeah, but if someone gets into an accident, breaks their neck, and they test positive in an autopsy for coronavirus, they totally died from coronavirus.
Oh, of course.
Who do you think you're kidding? Come on, people. Logic.
Oh, it's just a coincidence.
Logic. Yeah, so David says one of the cops killed himself. Oh, what was the picture you sent me was off her missing laptop? Ooh. Okay, let me see if I can find that again. Because if that was off her, and I read just a little bit of it, I'd have to zoom in on that. Let me see if I can pull it up for you all really quick here. Because yeah, that actually was pretty interesting. I liked that. Yeah, we've got the best fans. They send us all kinds of stuff. It's awesome.
Huh.
There's the one from the Daily Caller. Do. Okay, David, did you send it to me? Which account did you send it to me from? Your David, your incognito account or your real account? Because now I'm starting to get confused.
Seems like we all have incognito accounts these days.
Right? Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's kind of necessary. Wish it wasn't, but yeah, it happens. Yeah, it does happen. Yes, they are. Oh, they are the same account. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I will be able to find it then. Let's see here. Well, I got the picture you had of you can't post this. This URL goes against our community standards on spam. Yeah, I get that one a lot too. It's like, oh, really now I know. You know what's funny is if I want to know if something is partially credible, close to the truth, I'll go ahead and post it up on Facebook and see how long it takes them to take it down. And it's like, if they take it down, like, boom, like that within a minute, I'm like, oh, that must be some darn good stuff then. But if,
Yeah,
they leave it up,
you let them
ignore
do
it.
the fact checking for you,
Right.
If they take it down fast, like, ooh, that is for sure true.
So let's see here. I'm just flipping through all this stuff that you've sent me. Federal aid. Oh yeah, that's the federal aid for state governments. That was interesting too. Oh yeah, whenever there's an insurrection, President may, upon request of the legislature. Okay,
I'm
so
looking
that
here.
was
Dan Bongino just came out with a new video a few minutes ago.
Oh, he did. Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay, so from Nancy Pelosi's office. There's her crest and seal. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, August 27th, 2020. Mr. Tidwheeler, I have seen your response to the riots in your city, and I'm urging you to stick to the proven Democratic playbook. I would like to review this with you now. That definitely sounds like her. Totally condescending.
Yeah.
Deny there is a problem. Press will support this. Ooh. Refer to everything as peaceful and calm. Press will also help here. When all hell breaks loose, go on camera and show your support for anybody breaking the law. Press will praise you for this. You will be a new hero. Trust me. 4, when you can no longer keep any order, blame Trump. I cannot overemphasize number 4. This has worked every time we have used it, and again, the press has told me they will support and fact check any claim we make. This is political gold. 5, go on television and condemn Trump and refuse any assistance. We cannot give Trump any victory before the election. Best wishes, Nancy Pelosi. So, under normal circumstances, under sane circumstances, I would say, oh, there's no way that could be true. That looks trumped up, pun intended, and that's just too simplistic, etc. Except that is exactly what the Democrat Party has been doing for 4 years against this president. So I'm looking at that and
It
I'm
is.
going,
So it's like, well, that looks totally believable to me.
I'm like, this doesn't look like a playbook so much as it looks like a record of history.
Yeah.
Or an observation of historical fact. So I can't dispute, and supposedly that came off Nancy Pelosi's laptop. So yeah. Thank you, David, for resending that. That's awesome.
We need to do a little bit of research on the latest WikiLeaks dump.
Yeah, I was trying to look that up, and I went and looked on the WikiLeaks itself, and I didn't see anything about the new dump yet. So, but again, I don't usually look at WikiLeaks very much unless it's a direct link that I'm clicking on from someone else. So I'm not sure how to navigate their site. Leaks.
Yeah.
Featured. Okay, maybe it's not featured. U.S. Embassy shopping list. Oh, that's from 2018. Is there any way to aggregate this or sort it by News. Let's see if it's in news. October 2019 is the latest thing they have about Julian Assange's case management hearing. Yeah, I don't know. If any of you all listening come out with a link to the new WikiLeaks dump, send that to us, please. I would love to see what they've dug up. But yeah, the president declaring that state of emergency, that's interesting. Who knows? Maybe it's set up, maybe it's not. All I know is we got to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And preparing for the worst, yeah, have food on hand. Toilet paper! Does this mean the toilet paper is going to start running out again?
Oh, I meant to say that when I made my trip to Walmart yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I also stocked up on toilet paper because I figure when the crap hits the fan,
It's
the
really gonna.
toilet paper is all going to disappear. So I bought myself 2 cases of toilet paper.
Oh gosh. Well, we
So
go through a lot of toilet paper with all the toddlers and potty train
yeah,
and whatnot, but even us, we're like, I don't really have anywhere to put more toilet paper. Don't need any more right now. Maybe
yeah,
stick one in storage. I don't.
yeah. I bought a couple of the 12-pack jumbo rolls of the Angel Soft or whatever it was. I don't know.
Now we know what you have in your bathroom. Angel soft. Only angel soft for Rebecca. Well, I'm gonna have to jump off here pretty soon. I gotta go. It sounds like convince a baby to go to sleep. So we'll see if that's successful or not. Oh, the life of a mother. Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, but it's
Well, so it will be interesting to see what happens over the next few
yes.
days. We'll
Remember
see.
everybody, remember everybody, you're living through history right now. I mean, not that any moment isn't eventually historical, but we're at a pivot point in our nation. We are almost 250 years old, and history is happening before our very eyes. So I say, don't worry about what you can't change, because right now, whatever the president's doing, whatever anyone is setting in motion, even how the Democrats are trying to take our nation down and big tech is trying to silence our voices, there's nothing that any one of us can do to change that at this point in time. Focus on the things that you can do. If it's within your power and you've got a case to sue big tech, sue them. Go go ahead.
Yeah.
File an injunction against them or something. Fine. But most of us don't have that much. Well, I say most of us, but now and again, it's like, oh, 70,000 more people just got booted off a social media platform. They should all sue. Yeah.
Yeah.
David said he's getting sick of living through major historical events. He just wants peace and calm. That's the thing about us conservatives. We just want, and libertarians too, I gotta say, because it's not just conservatives. We just want to live and let live. Leave me alone. I just want to raise my
Right.
family. I want to
That's
go
all
to
I
church.
want.
I want to dance. I want to, run my business. And I'm not out to bother anybody. I'm not out to, force my way of life or living on anybody. But the Marxist left is. They
Yes.
want to force their way of life on us. They're forcing their right think on us, and anytime we push back, oh, that's wrong think, and they're going to punish us. So focus on the things that you can do. Focus
Yeah.
on the stuff that you can control and that you can push back on, even if it's just popping into a store for 1 or 2 minutes. It's kind of like people used to streak across a football field naked. Well, now you don't even
Oh,
have to get naked. You just have to have your face naked and just go, face streaking. There we go. We came up with a new term.
streaking.
Go face
See,
streaking through
I
sprouts.
lived during that period of time, during the
Right?
streaking period. It's like that was popular when I was a teenager. Actually, a little bit younger than a teen, very young, probably 10 or 11 years old. That's when the whole streaking thing was going on, and it was happening all over the place. People would jump out of the stands at a sports game and run across the field naked, or they would just in public places, whatever.
Yeah.
It was just making a statement.
Yeah. So now we can make a statement and we don't even have to let it all hang out. Just let your face hang out. That's enough.
Yeah,
No face
that's it.
streaking through a store. Be like, you know what? I'm just going to buzz past security and I'm just going to walk all around the store and just see how many managers and staff can I pick up on my trail and then just walk right out. Don't even
That's
have
right.
to say a word. Be like,
That's right.
well, one of these days I want to go into Sprouts with a sandwich board sign saying, "This is my protest. Black Lives Matter," and just see if anybody bothers me. Oh,
Well, we need to do a maskless shop-in pretty soon
yes.
here, and we need to
Yeah.
do it at Sprouts.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Make,
Yeah,
make make a big example of them and just, turn them topsy-turvy and just, how many people can we get into Sprouts without masks on? Or what would be
well,
even
we could do
better.
it. We could do it like those people did it a while back, where they actually did a protest in the store. They had music playing, and they were singing, "We're not going to take it anymore." And
That's
they had
right.
and they were
That's
and they
right.
were marching through the store, and there was at least 20 or 30 of them. It was pretty good,
Yeah.
and they had a great time.
Well, what would be what my whole thing, because I kind of love some of the sneakier tactics is, get 50 people in the store with masks or face coverings on, and then have one or two people walk in without face coverings. Watch the management converge on them, and then everyone just start ripping off their masks and be like, you know
Ah,
what? This is BS.
you're
There
right.
is
It's
no
like,
scamdemic. You all have
no, I
been
love
lying this
that.
whole time. We're done. And
I
it's like,
love it. Let's
what?
do that. Let's make it look like everybody else is saying, "Oh, I like what they're doing. I'm going to join in."
That's what I say.
Make it look organic.
The psychological impact of that
Yes, I
would
love it.
be huge. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good idea.
yeah, email us, anybody, if anyone's still watching. Looks like we have 4 listeners. We'll send out an email blast about that in the coming days and see who wants to rumble, see who wants to get on it. And remember, listen to us on Rock of Talk, KIVA 1600, this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. And go on rockoftalk.chat. If especially, there's one thing I forgot to mention. Rockoftalk.chat is going to start letting you all have your own email addresses. So when you
Yeah,
sign up, I think you have to pay for at least a year. You can set
yeah,
up your own email address and you determine what it's going to be. It's not, Eddie doesn't hand those out to people by signing up for that website. You
and
can
the
get your
cool
own
thing
email
about it is,
address.
since it's really new, you'll probably get exactly the email address you want.
Right. Yeah. Get it on the ground level while you can. And just know that this is an email address that Google can't use to spy on you. Google, Yahoo, AOL, anyone else. They can't shut it down. They can't shut it down because the servers are, some of them are locally and privately owned and some are overseas. So yeah, having an email address with good security that can't be shut down or tampered with is going to be a must in the coming days. So,
Yeah,
hop on the .chat site, rockoftalk.chat, and granted, yeah, we don't get paid, but our stuff goes out over the airwaves there. But Rebecca and I have been in on some of the plans and stuff that Eddie has, including for a rockoftalk.tv. If anyone wants to check that out early, yeah, go to www.rockoftalk.tv. It's probably not anything on it now, but during the day when he has his radio show, yeah, you can view the TV in the station online. It's really cool. I went and
yeah,
did that
yeah,
today. So
yeah.
yes. So stay free, everybody.
That's
Stay
right. And remember,
back.
resistance is not futile.
That's right. So have a good night, and we will catch you next week.
Catch you later.